I've been getting a amount of comments of people who have a hard time coming to the realization that majority of their favorite rappers are industry plants or indie artists. And for some, they want there to be this exception. They think that their favorite rapper isn't included. They want to pick and choose based upon their biasness on who they like and who they don't like. For example, if people don't like Lotto or if people don't like Glorilla, they'll say, well, yeah, Glorilla is an industry plant. However, NBA Youngboy or a Young Thug is not. But as I read to you guys the article, which is a really credible source, a gentleman by the name of Nathan Slavic, who has industry ties and connections, has done sit-down meetings and had a sit-down lunch and went into detail about how these artists are secretly signed but getting major label funding. Now, Nathan Slavic put out another article that explained the level and the tiers of the pyramid of how it would actually work from an artist who starts from their bedroom. Make a long story short, it just goes to show how unrealistic it is for an artist to go from in the basement or a bedroom artist who bought a microphone off of Walmart and you jump from tier 1 to tier 5. NBA Youngboy, who I came across by my nephew. And when I watched my nephew and I watched his mannerisms and his body language and how he took to NBA Youngboy, I instantly seen the agenda that the higher ups was pushing on to the young black men. Now, NBA Youngboy, there's a bit of confusion as I'm looking into his information and his backstory online. It seems to be that they have a confusion with the dates on which NBA Youngboy getting signed to Atlantic Records. Now, in 2015, it supposedly is when NBA Youngboy so happened to just get into music. It says that he began producing music with a microphone he bought from Walmart, 14 years old. He released his first mixtape, Life Before Fame, in 2015. I'll repeat that. When he was 14 years old, he released his first mixtape, Life Before Fame. They're letting you know they're prepping him for fame. So he put out a series of more mixtapes. 2015, he releases the mixtape 38 Baby. How ironic is it that in 2016, NBA Youngboy, seeing a quick rise to fame, he all of a sudden started to work with two prominent artists, which were Lil Boosie and Kevin Gates. And the funny thing about that is, both of those artists at the time were signed to Atlantic Records. It also goes on to say NBA Youngboy's quick rise to popularity could also be attributed to his song-for-song rap beef with fellow Baton Rouge rapper Scotty Kane in December 2015, in which songs from both rappers included death threats. Now, the industry is famous for selecting two artists, sitting them down, and having them have a rap beef, which draws more interest to both artists, especially someone who's they're pouring money into and have a lot of money behind, which is NBA Youngboy. Drama sells. Controversy sells. See, his life is a reality TV show, and beef sells. It's no different than Tupac telling you it's all about economics. He said it himself. He don't got no real beef with Biggie. So all this is done strategically. East versus West Coast beef. Jay-Z versus Nas. Chief Keef versus FBG Duck. You need that arch enemy. People will feed into it and buy into it. You can have one side pretending to this block, one block pretending to that block, and you go back and forth arguing on the internet. This side making a diss record about that side. We smoking on your homie. That was a part of the marketing, part of the build-up into his image. As it says, their feuding attracted a lot of attention. The following year, in 2017, this is when he started to gain more notoriety. He released a video and he somehow started to get cameo from bigger artists. Meek Mill, Young Thug, 21 Savage, Yo Gotti. So what's crazy is this. Here's an article from Urban Islands. It says, NBA YoungBoy first signed to Atlantic Records in 2016 for a $2 million deal that required him to produce 5 albums. But then another article, it says they're doing interviews with his manager. And a few of his managers are explaining how they met NBA YoungBoy, and they're also talking about his rise to fame. One of those managers is Roderick Moore. Roderick Moore, who goes by the nickname Chopper, is a music industry veteran. Chopper is a music industry veteran who's been working with NBA YoungBoy since 2016. So in 2015 is when NBA YoungBoy began his rap career. The following year, in 2016, NBA YoungBoy magically just becomes a star and becomes viral overnight. And he's starting to work with bigger name artists like a Meek Mill, a 21 Savage, Yo Gotti, etc. You're supposed to believe that all of this happened in 3 years. 3 years. But without major label funding, it is almost nearly impossible for that to happen overnight.
NBA YoungBoy's out. The one thing I found interesting, though, is that he went on Instagram recently and said, don't sign Atlantic unless you want to be a slave. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I think, I used to be in the Universal building. Vlad TV used to be part of SRC, so I got to see it. I think there's pluses and minuses for going to a major. I think that if you want to have hit records and want to get a ton of promo, a major label is the way to go because they could make one phone call and get your song played all across the country.
Right.
You can't really do that as an independent artist.
Right.
It just doesn't really happen.
You know
what I mean? Like to be played. Yeah. You'll spend a lot of money trying to do it, and you still won't do it as well as the labels because they got those relationships with the program directors, everything locked down.
Now you seen where it said that NBA YoungBoy was signed in 2016. If you go on collegekid.com, it says that NBA YoungBoy signs a 5-album contract with Atlantic Records, deal worth $2 million. That was 2017. Here written on another credible website, Vlad TV, in 2017, it says that NBA YoungBoy reportedly signed a 5-album deal with Atlantic Records. But my belief is that NBA YoungBoy was signed from the beginning in 2015, and he was an industry plant. Even when you head over to Apple Music and type in NBA YoungBoy, once you scroll down and go to albums, see all, when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you go to one of his first mixtapes, 38 Baby, or one of his most popular mixtapes. In 2016, if you scroll down and read the description, it says this album was released under Atlantic Records in 2016. Atlantic Records Group, LLC, in 2016. But somehow the deal was announced in 2017. See, for NBA YoungBoy, I seen his influence and how it affected my nephew. See, my nephew was growing up in a fatherless home. And I seen how he connected and resonated with NBA YoungBoy. He would sit there and he would watch his YouTube videos and video after video. He perpetuated and he propagated a stereotype for young black men to be thugs, high school dropouts, have multiple baby mamas. The young black boys who look up to NBA YoungBoy, they'll say, well, I want to drop out of high school. Rap is a young man's sport. So you need someone to fill that void. The younger generation is coming. They don't already utilize Lil Wayne. They moved him out the way. Lil Wayne came with the dreads, the face tattoos, the overload on drugs, being off promethazine. And it made way for the NBA YoungBoys of the world. And he had his relationship as well, one of his baby mamas. A lot of these artists, they're not even really in relationships. A lot of the times it's a contractual relationship. So what happens is it's the perfect story, and you have their girlfriends or their baby mothers, and they'll push their baby mothers as well. And they put them together, and you're going to draw in more women. And it's also being pushed towards the female audience as well. And it keeps women continuing to be attracted to the NBA YoungBoy type characters, the bad boy image, because then it creates that cycle. When you create NBA YoungBoys, it create that cycle, and it further that programming. Being on drugs, and women are attracted to that. They're attracted to the guy who toting guns, and you see these artists, they have guns all in the videos, and you say, oh, I want to be like NBA YoungBoy. You're not going to admit it, but subconsciously you want to be like NBA YoungBoy because they made him so popular and they put him right in your face. You have the young little girls who are very attracted to that. Pants sagging. As you notice, you look around, you start to see a lot of the young boys adopt the same type of hairstyle. They want to wear their pants like NBA YoungBoy. It's no different than when I was growing up. I wanted to be like Lil Wayne. Also, what plays into the marketing as well is him being arrested. What also adds to his appeal is by him being arrested. Because the more violence and the more crime that you get into, the more your fans are attracted to you. Because once again, controversy sells. The more violence and trouble you get into, the more attention you garner. Then your streams go up. Album sales shoot up. Your videos, your views, you're a trending topic. People are talking about you. Negativity sells. That creates that conversation. Free YoungBoy. Free YB. I can't wait till YB come home. I just listened to the news today. The Shade Room posted YB might be coming home soon. You anticipating it. You're watching his videos. You're seeing him receive calls while he's inside jail. He's getting that one-time call. You resonate that. You feeling that. The next thing you know, he's about to come home. Then he's about to drop a mixtape. He come home, do the First Day Out song. Then once he drops that First Day Out song, everybody is back on the wave, going crazy for NBA YoungBoy. Strategic marketing. Right? They're going crazy for NBA YoungBoy. You know, his songs on Apple Music, Tidal, all these platforms, the numbers are just going up. Lil Boosie just said it. 50% of the dudes who listen to my music are in the graveyard. And as I said, what do you think the other 50% is at? Or 45%? They're in prison. Same thing with NBA YoungBoy. Majority of NBA YoungBoy's audience is going to end up the same exact way. So you push them aside once NBA YoungBoy's time is up. Then you gradually bring in the next artist. You have more of the young ladies who see an NBA YoungBoy and they get attracted by that. Subconsciously, they say, okay, I like him. I like the bad boys. I like the thugs. So then they have a baby. And then once they have kids, and the female who was attracted to the NBA YoungBoys of the world, who she had babies by, right? That's when the cycle continued. Because those babies will appeal to the next artist that the industry promotes. But NBA YoungBoy, the master plan for him currently is to merge both communities, right? The heterosexual community and the rainbow community. The ultimate goal is to normalize it. So you take a person like an NBA YoungBoy, who most of the young men idolize. They see him working with a Lil Nas X. It becomes more acceptable. And you hear the NBA YoungBoys speak up for the rainbow community. Now you see why he's expressed his newfound love for wearing makeup. Now you see why he vouches for and has no issue working with Tekashi, a rapper with rainbow hair. He was manufactured and he was an industry plant.